Hey Virgo, it's Ryan with Arrows of Love. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I did a Virgo video. I've been on an extended hiatus. I had a lot going on with work over the last few months, and I just got back from a 10-day vacation in Mexico. So I'm feeling good, feeling relaxed. It was very needed. And I'm back on YouTube. We're gonna do some readings for November. We got a lot going on in the sky. Then we're gonna do the tarot, check on love overall. And we got some big things happening with the love planet at the end of the year. We have Venus going retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. It's a fellow earth sign for you, Virgo, so this will be important for you overall. But we also have eclipse season coming up, and eclipses always mark big changes, big beginnings, overall information coming out, secrets being revealed, secrets being hidden. And we'll get into the house placements and what this all means. So today is November 12th. Yesterday, we just went through a series of intense squares between action planet Mars and taskmaster Saturn. Right now, Mars is sitting in your third house of Scorpio, where it is dignified. Mars rules Scorpio. And Saturn is sitting in your sixth house of Aquarius, which is 6 signs past Virgo. And the sixth house is a tricky house. The sixth house is known as Malefortuna. Sometimes it's known as a house of misfortune, but the ancient astrologers said this has a lot to do with health, disease, your routine, work, weighty matters, burdens, bondage, slavery. Those are the themes that come out with that sixth house. It's a Monday morning that you just don't want to deal with, essentially. So it's the burdens of life. It's your everyday routine. It's health, like I said. So there could be news, because the third house is a house of communication. It's a house of friendship, siblings, short distance travel. And then that sixth house is, the sixth house is also known as the joy of Mars. So Mars is cutting, severing. It's the warrior. It's a little selfish. Thinks about only itself. So these are themes that could come out for you. And it could be with other people. Could be news coming out about your own health. Could be health of others. Overall, it can be kind of challenging stuff, or maybe you're just looking at your routine and something needs to be adjusted within your routine right now. And squares are always action. Squares are the nature of Mars. Mars is action. So there's usually some intensity or tense situations that come up that make you review these particular themes in your life. So third house of communication, sixth house of health, routine, work, weighty matters. So if anything is percolating right now, the square is separating, but these are slower moving planets, and they're malefics, and they're dignified in their own signs. So it's got some hard hitting energy overall. Square is separating, but we could still be dealing with some of these matters right now. Now, next week, we have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus. That's on November 19th. It's a fellow earth sign, so this is actually making a very good aspect to you, a whole sign aspect. It's a trine, which is the nature of Jupiter, which is expansion, good luck, growth overall. And it's going to be at 27 degrees of Taurus. That's where the moon is going to be sitting. So if you have any planets in your natal chart within about a 3-degree orb, so I'd say to the end of Taurus till about 24 degrees of Taurus, this is going to impact you the most. Or if you have any planets around those degrees in other signs, that could be impacting you as well. So eclipses are always big beginnings and big endings. It's essentially a full moon on steroids and a new moon on steroids. And the fifth house, Taurus for you is the ninth house. It's 9 signs past Virgo. The ninth house has to do with your higher ideals, morality, faith, belief, expansion, growth, long distance travel, gurus, and mentors. So something here is changing for you. Something's being revealed. It's the luminaries of the sky opposing each other. So it always has something to do with relationships here, sun and moon. The sun is shining a light on the moon. Information can be revealed right now about maybe you're thinking about going back to school to brush up on job skills. Perhaps you are finding out information about a professor or a guru that makes you question things. But the thing is, the moon is actually exalted in the sign of Taurus. So it could be actually something really good. Maybe you've been working on a project, a publication of some type, and you hear that it's going to be published in a scholarly journal. That's very possible at this time, because this particular full moon, this lunar eclipse, is going to be in a fellow earth sign, and it's making a whole sign trine to you, which is beneficial. So something changing here, or news coming up that's very beneficial for you overall in that ninth house. 2 weeks later, we are going to have the solar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. And this will be the last one on the Sagittarius-Gemini axis until the nodes of the moon, Ketu and Rahu, move into the Taurus-Scorpio axis for another year and a half, 18 months or so. And here, for you, Virgo, Sagittarius is your fourth house. It is 4 signs past Virgo. The fourth house has to do with home, family, mother, property, roots, foundation, ancestry. So these are things that these are themes that could possibly come up right around that December 4th area. And this is a new moon solar eclipse, and it's on the south node. It's very close to the south node, and the south node is known for spirituality. It's known for otherworldly things. Overall, the south node brings back things from the past, so you could be reviewing past relationship, family, karma, ancestry. It could be things that were been passed down, learnings of the family that have been passed down that maybe you need to review, or something that's coming to light that maybe shines a light on your beliefs and what it is you believe in, as far as a part of a family unit, essentially. Fourth house has to do with comfort, has to do with home. Some of you could be moving over the next 6 months, looking at relocating. That's a very popular one for the fourth house overall. But it's something from the past. So I'm going to be reviewing things that have an element of spirituality to it. So some of you, and Sagittarius is a sign of faith. So some of you could be reviewing your own faith, what it is you believe in, your ideals, your beliefs. Anything to that effect could very well come up for you. Venus, the planet of love, relationships, harmony, negotiation, aesthetics, sexuality, friendship, is in the sign of Capricorn, another fellow earth sign. So we have a lot of earth energy going on right now. And Venus is going to be retrograding at the end of the year in December, and it's going to have an extended stay in Capricorn, close to 4 months, almost 5 months in Capricorn. And Capricorn's your fifth house, Virgo, and the fifth house is a house of joy. It's a house of pleasure, entertainment, fun, games, and children. So some of you could be thinking about having a child at this time. Maybe you're thinking about expanding the family, especially with that solar eclipse energy coming up. You could be reviewing some of this overall. Some of you could be also be reviewing your reproductive health, because Venus for women has a lot to do with reproductive systems. So maybe some of you are getting checked up on that. Maybe some of you go through menopause. Other of you decide to get your tubes tied. Honestly, these are all themes that could potentially be coming up, because children are a big part of that fifth house, but it's also the house of joy. So you're going to be reviewing what brings you joy. And we always look to what houses that Venus rules for you. And for you, that's Libra and Taurus. And we just talked about Taurus. Taurus is that 9th house of higher ideals, your beliefs, morality, gurus and mentors, long distance travel. And it also rules Libra, which is your 2nd house of income. So there could be a financial aspect to this as well. So be sure you're not spending too much money on luxury items at this time. And that's December through all the way to the end of January. It's a 6-month period, a 6-week period that Venus goes retrograde. So, just be aware of it. And the thing is about this particular Venus retrograde cycle is that it's going to be conjoined with alchemical Pluto. So there's this bubbling up from the underworld that very well comes up. So things unseen, secrets, power struggles, dynamics with power within relationships could be tested during this time. Has a lot to do with fear. So fear-based motives within relationships could come up during this time too. So not necessarily a time to be jumping into a new relationship, Virgo, especially when Venus is going through her shadow period, which she's coming up to right now, which is about 11 degrees of Capricorn. I think she's at about 6 or 7 today. So she's coming up to a shadow period. So this energy is growing with this Venus retrograde. And as she gets to about 27 degrees of Capricorn, then she's going to be retrograde, and she's going to be right on top of Pluto. So this is very powerful energy. It's transformative. It's always a release, a purge. Something dies and becomes reborn. So, and it's all in that 5th house. So 5th house again is joy, fun, games, and children. So I don't want to scare any of you But I want you to be aware of this energy as we start getting closer to it, because the end of the year is it's gonna pack a punch, let me tell you. So that's the general energies in the sky right now, Virgo. We're gonna do your tarot reading now. And this is for mid-November. Let's see if there's anything else I want to. Eclipses always bring in big change. I mean, it's for everyone. We're all going to go through it. It takes about 6 months. Sometimes that energy plays out much quicker for some of us. Others, it takes a while for events to coalesce. But here we go. Never a dull moment in the sky these days. All right, Virgo. Let's see what's going on with you. These are general readings. Messages will not resonate with all of you. This is for Virgo's Sun, Ascendant, Moon, and Venus. If those planets are not in Virgo, take a look at your other full sign houses. Sometimes those videos will speak more to you depending on what's happening in your natal chart. If you like these videos and would like to see more of them, please click the like button and subscribe. It helps the channel and it's very much appreciated for me. And you get to see more of me. I'm going to be back more. I'm going to be back more on YouTube now that the fall is pretty much wrapping up here. I'm in Minneapolis. We had a beautiful fall, so I spent a lot of it outside. Spent a lot of it with friends, with the dog. So I'm going to be inside a little bit more, so you'll see me a little bit more on YouTube. Okay, let's see what's going on with Virgo. We're going to do 6 cards from the tarot, 1 from the Angel's Oracle for the general energy. I feel pretty good about that. All right, Virgo, let's see what's going on. First card out is going to be from the Angels. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Okay, so you got to do a little bit of work on yourself here. You have to make sure you're valuing yourself at the right level. So you bring in the highest form of love, right? So if you need to do a little bit of work on yourself, that's okay. We're all human. We all have flaws. We're all a work in progress. So here the guides are saying, make sure you have firm boundaries, you know your value, then you bring in a romantic partner. All right, first card out, 2 of Swords. This is what's crossing you, the Moon, Destiny, Page of Wands, distant past, Ace of Pentacles, recent past, Chariot, outcome, 2 of Wands. Yeah, so just looking at this reading, Virgo, you're at an inflection point. Saturn has been in your 7th house, Saturn has been in your 6th house of work routine, health, burdens, weighty matters for almost a year now. And that can be a difficult house for Saturn. It's cleaning up your daily life to making sure that you are on a road for success. And Jupiter, your 7th house ruler of marriages, partnerships, is going to be moving into Pisces at the end of the year. So it's been slowly creeping forward again in Aquarius. It's done with this retrograde cycle, and Jupiter expands whatever it's touching. So if you've been going through some difficult stuff here, you've been clearing out the crap, clearing out the BS, closing out karmic loops, unsure of where you're going right now, there's going to be some major shifts coming for you, Virgo, in 2022. So it's not surprising to me that the first card out here is the 2 of Swords. Not having all the information, being blinded to where it is you go next, being a little bit, being confused here, right? 2 different directions. 2s are always choices, not sure what to do here. And you don't have all the information. You don't have all the information about this particular situation. Got to go deeper within your self-conscious, your subconscious, and you could be dealing with a Pisces here, or even potentially a Cancer. The Moon represents both water signs. So again, that's where the reason why I'm bringing up Pisces and Jupiter, that's your 7th house of marriages. And that's where the moon, that's where Jupiter is headed. So oftentimes represents a Pisces. So it's going into that subconscious about what it is you believe and you value in relationships. And you could be just at a crossroad right now, where to go. Information is hidden, absolutely. The moon always represents secrets, the subconscious, things lurking underneath the surface. And then, you got the 2 here as well, 2 of Swords. She's blindfolded. The moon's sitting right up here. We're at the quarter moon right now. The timing of all of this is, I love the tarot for this very reason. It always aligns nicely with the astrology. So it could be very confusing right now. What to do next? That Taurus lunar eclipse is going to bring out information that might challenge your beliefs, your morality, how it is you value yourself. You don't have all the information yet, but there's going to be some communication. And it's going to be some fiery communication. Mars is sitting in that 3rd house of communication right now. This is very a Mars in the 3rd house type card. It's a page, it's communication. It could be a passionate communication. It could be an old bedroom buddy coming back. Venus retrograde in that 5th house could very well bring back old lovers, old partners. 5th house is a very enjoyable house. Venus is the planet of romance, relationships. So you very well could hear from someone that makes you very confused. And maybe someone that you had a very close relationship with, a very passionate relationship with. But remember what the angel said here. You need to love yourself first. So if this relationship was something that brought a lot of passion but didn't fulfill you, you're going to need to decide whether or not this is something you want to go back to. Or perhaps you're deciding between people right now because you got 2 2s, Virgo. So this is also indicative of, decisions. Some type of communication is definitely coming in for you. Distant past, we have the Ace of Pentacles here, and recent past, we have the Chariot. So something here, you tried to get something off the ground, essentially, and it didn't pan out. You went in a different direction. Perhaps you 2 had tried to make this work before, several times, and for whatever reason, you're just not connecting. And it likely has to deal with your beliefs. And what it is you want in a relationship. Things are hidden, things are unseen, things are lurking beneath the surface. Perhaps there's some subconscious feelings that you or this other person needs to work out first. You might very well hear about it with this page, but it's something that just didn't get off the ground. Or perhaps someone left because it was a job and they decided they're going to go pursue a career and left town. And that kind of ended things. That's for some of you, not all of you. But there was definitely something here that you wanted to get off the ground. You thought that it was going to be steady, something that could have lasted time, withstood the test of time. And it just didn't work out because you went in a new direction. The Chariot is a Cancer card, so you could be dealing with a Cancer here. Cancer is your 11th house. So this is a friend, perhaps, that returns. Someone that maybe you wanted to take out of the friend zone and have something more with, but just for whatever reason, you guys weren't aligned. And they might be coming back, or this might be just a review of this particular relationship and you're not really sure where to go. There's a new direction though. Something changes within the dynamics. And essentially what happens is there's another choice that needs to be made here. It very well might be you, it might be them. But this is the 2 of Wands, and the 2 is, looking out at options and deciding, what do you want to do next? Do you want to go this way or that way? Who aligns with you? You have a lot of energy sitting in Taurus during the 19th of November. Again, that's your higher beliefs, your ideals, morality, long distance travel. You could meet someone while traveling too. Again, though, with Venus retrograde in that 5th house of romance, not a great time to be getting into something new. Some of you are going to do it anyway, okay? Regardless of my advice, you're going to do it anyway because you have to fulfill this particular end of karma. And you're going to meet people that sweep you off your feet. You're going to think this is great, and then information is going to come out that they're connected to someone else, or they go back to someone that they were seeing and they were just taking a break, or something prevents you guys from being together and you're going to be looking at these options again and saying, you know, is this something that I really want? You got 2 2s. Decisions. Swords represent thoughts. Wands represent passion. It's the classic tension between head and heart, right? What do you want? Your body's telling you 2 different things, and it's very confusing, and you're gonna have to go into that subconscious level to really figure out what it is that you want. There's a new direction here, but remember what the lesson of the reading is. Love yourself first. It's self-respect. It's about boundaries. It's about having self-respect, healthy boundaries, so you're not codependent on someone else. I heard a friend of mine say that 2 birds tied together can't fly. And that's a great metaphor for this particular reading. You have to be able to be an individual and have that self-respect, clear boundaries about what it is you want in a relationship. And to me, this just is, it's a lot of boundary crossing. Unsure what to do. Unsure whether you match on your values, your beliefs. You probably connect really good on a romantic level, but there's something missing here that you're gonna have to really, really hone in on and go deep and do some self-reflection. I think there's gonna be a situation that comes through here that changes the dynamic. Perhaps a job offer, and this person ends up leaving. Perhaps you get a job offer. You know, with that Aquarius, there's a lot of Aquarius energy. That's the 6th house of work. Perhaps you're changing things up here. You're deciding, what do I do next? Do I stay because I like this person? Or do I go to have a new future? The Chariot's one of the best cards. I think you're going to end up choosing the new path, to be quite honest. So let me know if this is resonating with you, Virgo. As always, I hope you're doing well, and we'll talk to you next time. See you.